Hey, welcome back. We got War 3 coming up here. This one is a pretty decent war. We only took 7 fights here. I didn't get a plethora of shared fights or anything like that, and only a few minis, but we're bringing in Spider-Man 2099, Bishop, and the Anti-Venom synergy. So we're running past 7 in section 1 and section 2, and we got a couple minis and then the final boss fight, so check it out. First fight is the Battle of the 2099s. Who's superior? We got Punisher 2099 on, I think I'm going to just say 2099. It seems easier to say. Kinetic transference. This placement makes sense for a lot of reasons because his specials have like 1 billion hits in them. So if you push them over a bar and then they get special trigger happy, you're going to eat a lot of the hits into block, and they're going to gain a lot of power, and then they're just going to go on like a chain reaction. So Spider-Man works really great for this fight, especially with the Anti-Venom synergy. Start with the Wither. Every time you parry, it basically power drains him a little bit. It's not really counted as a power drain, more like a reversal because of 150%. So that node is immune to 90% like power drain, less efficient. But this next fight is pretty cool. Not my idea, but it worked out great. The plan is just to parry a couple times with this Power Start 1 boost, throw off the Power Start, apply multiple incinerates like Kingpin, purify them all, and then watch him just melt. But I accidentally make a mistake coming up right here, get whomped in the face. Meanwhile, he's detonating himself, so the plan is like working in the background while I'm taking the hit. So it worked out good. Could be much better if I didn't miss that parry. But yeah, that's an awesome counter for that fight. You see that placement a lot there. Next up, we have Peni Parker going into section 2. She used to be a challenging defender, but I think everybody has her figured out at this point. The goal here is to just hit into her block, and then that's pretty much the end of it. I will try to hit her normally a few times just to gain some power before my Wither falls off, but definitely make sure that the sync shield is on cooldown before any of that happens. So the nodes of this matchup are pretty much washed off because of Spider-Man having the buff immunity. It's the spite node, so not super worried about spite. So just kind of going to town on the block. You saw like a huge burst of damage there. The ruptures, they really hit hard with a rank 4. So that's the goal. Sync shield is back up now, so just kind of keep hitting the block, chipping it down. My Wither did fall off, so right now I'm just trying to hack away at the shield there. That way I can feel comfortable to launch my special 2 again. But the fight's going exceptionally well here. I'm at 96% health. She's at 24, so I'm not really worried. Just kind of keep hitting that shield, letting her like float back into her block. Now I can just manage to get a parry in special 2. Does a huge amount of damage. She's almost done. And then just kind of slow play it into the finish. I believe that's a wrap. So love Spider-Man. He's such a great champion. I remember when I pulled him, I was so disappointed at first because at that time the community was talking about how much of a noodle he was and everything else, but man, he has really just had the hugest like glow up, like Human Torch experience times like 1,000, like when he came out. So next up we have Ebony Maw on the second node in past 7 on section 2. Yeah, so I think right there I kind of just I got the parry and I wasn't like ready to have the parry, so by the time I reacted, it was a little too late and lost my invul boost. Thankfully, I had it. I think that should be the only mistake I make here. Other than that, Ebony Maw is a great matchup for Spider-Man. Can't gain buffs, so not really worried about his degen. The only thing I really want to worry about is making sure that I don't get faltered. and that's easy enough if you just heavy counter his heavies or heavy counter his special 1. I do not let him throw his special 2, so if he ever gets close, I try to aggressively bait the special 1, and he's usually pretty friendly and will throw it. He likes to throw it at random times, it seems. So just baiting out the special 1 now. There it goes. You see how he kind of he was trying to do a dash back intercept into a special 1 against me, but luckily I caught that, and then dropped the big special 2, and Ebony Maw goes down. So pretty happy with that. Next up, we have another good Spider-Man matchup here on the mini boss leaving section 2, and we got a Mojo. This is another easy fight with Spider-Man. It's just food for him. It's what is it? Checking the time on my boost there. Still have a little bit of time left, so it's basically kinetic transference, feats of indestructible. Not a big deal at all. I'm going to start with the wither, so kinetic transference is going to be washed out, and I'm just going to do some hits here, try to gain some power, and then maybe push Mojo back, because he can push you in the back a little bit. He does get a little aggressive sometimes, so if you're not careful, he'll push you in the back, with this big old fat body. So you want to just make sure to keep the wither's paws hitting this block. Those ruptures, they'll add up really quick, and then this is where the power of Spider-Man's sick ability really comes into play, because it really opens up a whole new play style for him, which is to just hit the block, let the ruptures explode, and then when they explode, you just basically keep them off. So yeah, still going pretty well at this point. Not super worried about the rest of the fight. He's down to 10%, and that special 2 should finish it off. Another clean solo here. So love this dude. Moving on to the next fight here, we have a Mangog on node, what is this, 54. I think I've taken this fight every war so far this season, and besides the first war where I accidentally gave up a death to it, they've all went pretty well. I've kind of locked it in. So the real big key is just to all else fails, make sure you pause the wither. That way you can keep his power gain under control, you can keep stacking the ruptures, and then you just let him explode. As always, you can see how much I think I had 11 at the time when that one ruptured, and it did about 15% damage. So they really add up, and then once you get so many, not only do they tick away for damage, but because there's so many of them just staying put, it's really helping with the willpower reversal and things like that. So don't underestimate the per tick damage over time that they actually do. But man, when they burst though, man, they burst hard. That's the whole thing. So you can see he's almost down, and I'm not even halfway through my wither, so I've gotten a lot better at making sure that goes pause. So here I think I accidentally let him go in rage, but not the biggest deal. I don't know why I attacked in there. I think it was muscle memory, but luckily I had my invul boost, so didn't hurt too bad, and he kind of was forgiving and backed off there. So going in for a Sasquatch boss here at the very end. I will feel confident to take any boss defender pretty much with Spider-Man 2099. I think I'm running suicides here just for the extra heal that you get. Once the bleed falls off, you get a lot of healing. So beyond everything else, it just really makes it a safe fight. So Sasquatch can be an annoying boss fight just because, he can go in... what is it, the Wrath of Tanarak or whatever. But with Spider-Man, you just get one heavy attack off and put the exhaustion on him, and it really just keeps his Wrath of Tanarak charges from building up. So it's a pretty safe fight at this point. The only thing that I'm really concerned about is the unstoppable armor, watching for it, but I'm slowly building up to special 3 to put the slow on. I guess I just decided to go with the special 2 there, but normally I think I would go with the slow just to have one less thing to worry about, but maybe I was feeling pretty confident with my health bar right here, so I decided to just, let it rip. So Not doing a super great job at keeping my withers paused right now, but you know, the fight's still going pretty smoothly so far. Other than that, just sit here and chip away into the block, stack the ruptures. Should be a big one coming up. Push him over this bar of power real quick. Yeah, so at this point I just need to build back up to special 2, get my wither going on again. I think I'm gonna back off here, wait for that unstoppable timer, and then I should be safe to go in with a special 2 after this. My exhaustion did fall off there for a moment, but I got it back up before it came in, so it took a couple of hits there by mistake, pushed me to a special 3, so not the end of the world. I'll get this slow off. It will make my next special 2 hit that much harder. I'm still at 89%, and the fight is going along pretty smoothly. He's just such a safe option for these boss nodes with his like huge damage reduction. I'm super surprised that Kabam has like let this go on. I'm glad that it has, because I really love using this character, and it just makes these fights that much more fun. So yeah, I can't really think of like a defender that I would be like, oh, this is not going to be the best option for it, especially given his play style. You know, all the debuffs that he has really helps to mitigate that healing. You can see it's that massive heal there, 1600. I really need to get some of these ruptures going on to really just keep them from going on. So right there, just like one combo, it took 1600 down to, what is it, 273 a tick. So really need to get some more up to really help it slowing the fight down. So but other than that, still making progress steady. One more special 2 should really just kick it into overdrive here, and then that's it. So not the best fight. I mean, any fight you take on that node with Spider-Man looks like the best fight, because you come out with like close to like a full yellow bar, but coming out at 65% with him and running the suicides kind of is like, oh, like that's not super great. So but you know, it was it's still solo, so can't be upset about that. But overall, pretty pleased with that war. I had a fair share number of fights. They were all great matchups for Spider-Man, and you know, I can't be happier with the way that they went. As long as I'm not dying, then hey, we're doing good. So yeah, so other than that, you know, I appreciate you guys watching and hanging out. So let me know in the comments what you think, and then stay tuned for more. I think I got 2 more videos to upload that I'm behind on. This one was 3, so I need to do 4, I think it is. War number 4, so check it out for that one. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.